to the 131st Commencement of the University of Idaho. Now entering are the faculty. A long tradition at the university is for the faculty to form two columns that graduation candidates will pass through. The College of Graduate Studies. For more than 100 years, the College of Graduate Studies has led the university's graduate-level research, academic programs, and creative activities. Its contributions helped the university capture the prestigious Carnegie R1 classification, recognizing the highest tier of national research. The college strives to enhance fellowships, assistantships, scholarships, and professional development for over 2,000 graduate students at 5 campuses and online globally. Dr. Jerry McMurtry is the Dean, and the College of Graduate Studies includes 690 faculty members. Gloria Flavia Natividad de Conley from Moscow is the College of Graduate Studies featured graduate. She is earning her PhD in education. Gloria is deeply committed to continuing her work advancing scholarship, cultivating mentorship, and broadening opportunities for learners and educators around the world. The College of Law. Established in 1909, the College of Law delivers a focused curriculum to students completing their Juris Doctor degrees. Students have the option of earning their complete degree in Moscow or Boise. The college offers a range of activities, including the Sherman J. Bellwood Lecture, Northwest Institute for Dispute Resolution, Idaho Law Review Symposium, and dozens of student organizations and activities. Eliza Cover serves as the interim dean of the College of Law. Kristen Millian from Pullman, Washington is the featured law graduate. Among her achievements, she won 5 awards for the highest academic performance in a course. She was a teaching assistant in writing courses and served as the chief editor for the Idaho Law Review Symposium, Justice for All, Systemic Transformation of Public Defense in Idaho. Outside of class, she was co-founder of OWLS, the organization for older, wiser law students. The College of Art and Architecture. Established in 1981, the College of Art and Architecture teaches the integrated concepts of art, design, and technology with an emphasis on cultural and environmental stewardship. Students prepare for careers in the rapidly evolving creative economy through real-world projects that improve the quality of life for communities throughout the state of Idaho. Dr. Shauna Corey serves as Dean of the College of Art and Architecture. Emily Stewart from Idaho Falls is the featured graduate. She is earning her Master of Landscape Architecture degree with a minor in ecology. Since joining the U of I as an undergraduate, Emily has been involved in the major activities that underpin the U of I Landscape Architecture program, contributing to the program's outreach to local communities. This includes her work in design studios and participation in the student chapter of the American Association of Landscape Architects, and serving twice as a graduate teaching assistant. She is a supportive and dedicated student and was recognized as a 2025 LAF Olmsted Scholar, which denotes distinguished student leadership in landscape architecture. The College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences. Founded in 1920, the College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences prepares graduates to lead and inspire in the fields of education, health, sport, recreation, leadership, and dance. Through hands-on learning and real-world experiences, students develop the skills and knowledge to make a positive impact in their communities and around the world. Dr. Brooke Blevins is the Dean of the College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences. Morgan Hill from Elba is the featured graduate. Morgan earned the Richard Gibb Award, presented as a capstone award to a student who has entered post-secondary education in a non-traditional fashion and has overcome a variety of obstacles while providing service and leadership to the campus community. Morgan approaches her studies with curiosity and enthusiasm and a genuine commitment to growth. Her assignments are consistently outstanding, and her thoughtful contributions elevate discussions for the entire class. Morgan embodies the quality that faculty most admire in their students. Her future students and their families will undoubtedly benefit from the dedication and skill she brings to the classroom. The College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences. Founded in 1901, the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences is the largest and most dynamic college at the University of Idaho. Curriculum is centered around experiential learning and transformational opportunities. Class degrees make students successful in any career by providing the skills and experiences that employers want: critical thinking, problem solving, teamwork, leadership, communication, cultural awareness, and real-world experience. Dr. Sean M. Quinlan serves as Dean of the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences. Alexa Benitez from Blackfoot is the featured graduate. Alexa exemplifies the highest ideals of scholarship, leadership, and service. A first-generation college student with a 4.0 GPA, she demonstrated exceptional intellectual engagement through research, including a co-author publication in Social Science Quarterly and additional undergraduate scholarship. Benitez has also distinguished herself through extensive leadership and community engagement. She served as an ASUI Senator, ASUI Director of Student Services, President of Movimiento Activista Social, and organizer of El Color, a community cultural event. Her resilience, academic excellence, and commitment exemplifies the promise and purpose of a class student. Please rise for the entrance of the platform party. Shauna Corey, Brooke Blevins, Sean Quinlan, Eliza Cover, Russell Baker, Lindsey Brown, Jerry McMurtry, Blaine Eccles, Shea Arrogandade, Jaleesa Kenyon, Dean Kaler, Dan Ewert, Gwen Gorzelski, Yolanda Bisbee, Chris Nomura, Sean Keogh, Jason Ackerman, Vicky Sell, Eric Peterson, Warren Bakes, Lisa Groh, Tori Lawrence, Tim Murphy, and C. Scott Green, the 19th President of the University of Idaho. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the Joint ROTC Color Guard, followed by the performance of our national anthem by Madison Cummings and the University Wind Ensemble. Please remove your hats unless you are in uniform or academic regalia.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Please welcome the chair of the University of Idaho Faculty Senate, Timothy Murphy.
Good morning. It is my honor to welcome you to the University of Idaho's 2026 Spring Commencement. On behalf of my colleagues, I want to thank you for allowing us to be part of your educational journey here at the University of Idaho. It has been our pleasure to teach, mentor, and learn with you these past years. We look forward to watching you apply what you gained at the University of Idaho to strengthen our communities here in Idaho, in the broader nation, and even around the world. We are confident that you will accomplish great things, building upon the foundation you've laid here. And now, please join me in welcoming the 19th President of the University of Idaho, C. Scott Green.
Thank you, Tim, for opening our ceremony and for your service as Chair of Faculty Senate. Please be seated, everybody. Thank you. Students, parents, families, deans, faculty, and honored guests, welcome to the University of Idaho, our state's flagship land-grant institution. Woo! Our history is important, and I want to begin by acknowledging that our U of I campus and statewide centers reside on the ancestral homelands of 5 federally recognized nations: the Coeur d'Alene Tribe, Kootenai Tribe of Idaho, the Nez Perce Tribe, the Shoshone-Bannock Tribe of the Fort Hall Reservation, and the Shoshone-Paiute Tribes of the Duck Valley Indian Reservation. We strive to foster collaboration, mutual understanding, and learning that supports tribal priorities in education, economic development, and research. Seated directly behind me and on the floor are representative members of the University of Idaho's leadership. Will the platform party and other members of the university leadership team joining from the audience please rise and stay standing? Our leadership team has demonstrated its commitment and dedication to the students of this great institution. Commencement is one of our favorite days of the year. On behalf of the university's leadership team, we are excited to celebrate this accomplishment with you today. Please be seated. This is the 131st commencement year for the University of Idaho. More than 135 students have earned more than 145 degrees since the first graduates walked across our stage in 1896. That tradition continues today. More than 2,400 graduates are joining the ranks of Vandal alumni this year. A University of Idaho education illuminates and elevates not just students, but also communities across our state and around the world. This is especially true for our first-generation students. If you are the first in your family to earn a college degree, please stand and remain standing. As a first-generation student and now a first-gen college graduate, you've navigated significant challenges. You are great examples and guiding lights for your families and your communities. Congratulations to you and your loved ones. Please be seated. The Vandal family is filled with trailblazers and pioneers. We take challenges head on and aren't afraid to explore uncharted territory. I'd like to take a few moments to highlight some examples of your lineage as University of Idaho graduates. Our campus is dotted with reminders of our rich military tradition. From the bronze soldier statue on the administration lawn to War Memorial Gym. Our alumni roster is filled with military heroes as well. Ross Erastus Rowell served as Marine Corps Director of Aviation from 1935 to 1939. He was one of 3 senior officers of Marine Corps Aviation during World War II, helping the U.S. and our allies prevail. And Navy Vice Admiral Robert Lee Gormley led sailors in both world wars. In this century, U of I graduate General James Amos from Wendell, Idaho, served in the Marine Corps for 42 years, rising to the top rank of Commandant. Amos focused on working with other military branches and international allies, and he helped modernize the Marine Corps to meet evolving global threats. And Lieutenant General Eric Peterson, who we will honor later in our ceremony, was commissioned from our own Christman ROTC battalion. He rose through the Army ranks to become Director of Force Development for the U.S. Army and then served as Deputy Chief of Staff for the G8 in the Pentagon. U.S. Navy veteran Jim McClure from Payette earned his law degree at the U of I before serving 3 terms representing Idaho in the U.S. Senate. And McClure's legacy lives on at the University of Idaho through the McClure Center for Public Policy Research, along with his family's generous support of the Lionel Hampton Jazz Festival. University of Idaho alum Frank Schranz from Boise worked nearly 30 years at Boeing before taking the reins of the company and leading it to new heights. As CEO, he was known for his humility and calm demeanor, as well as his innovation. Schranz led Boeing through a growth market, then a recession, and then a restructuring that led to the creation of the 777, one of the most successful commercial planes ever put into service. In a few moments, we'll hear from U of I alumna Lisa Groh. She was one of the first female engineers at Idaho Power and is now the president and CEO. She oversees more than 2,000 employees at one of the state's largest and most important companies. If you're from the Treasure Valley, you likely know the name Kristen Armstrong. She earned her bachelor's degree in exercise physiology at the U of I before becoming the most decorated U.S. women's cyclist in history. Armstrong won 3 straight Olympic gold medals, 2 world championships, and 6 U.S. championships. And we're proud to name the bike path through our campus in Armstrong's honor. Sharon Allen grew up in tiny Kimberly, Idaho, with a plan to be a teacher, but her roommate at the University of Idaho convinced her to take an accounting class, which sparked a passion that led to a prolific career. In 2003, Allen became the first woman to serve as chairman at Deloitte, the largest professional service network in the world. She now serves on the board of directors for several prominent organizations, including the Bank of America, the John F. Kennedy School of Government at Harvard, and the National Board of the YMCA. Sharon and her husband, Rich Allen, are amazing supporters of the Vandal family. Among many other contributions, they've established the Allen Ethics Speaker Series in the College of Business and Economics. John Wellner earned his bachelor's degree in mathematics at the U of I and built a remarkable academic career, serving as a faculty member at the University of Washington for 37 years. He served as the co-editor of the Annals of Statistics and president of the Institute of Mathematical Statistics. John and his wife, Vera, established the John A. Wellner Lecture Series at the U of I, which brings distinguished scholars to campus to share in advances in mathematics and statistics. Vandal loved Tom Mueller, who grew up in St. Mary's, Idaho, is on the cutting edge of space exploration. He was the second employee at SpaceX and designed the Merlin engine that powers the Falcon rocket. Mueller continues to innovate and explore new frontiers in space transportation with his company Impulse Space. They are quickly becoming one of the space transportation leaders, and they have plans to soon ferry payloads to Mars. We're honored to induct Rich Allen, John Wellner, and Thomas Mueller into our Alumni Hall of Fame this week. I have no doubt there are many Vandals wearing regalia here today who will be remembered as leaders, innovators, champions, maybe even University of Idaho Hall of Famers. As graduates I encourage you to continue to be curious, continue to learn, and continue to collaborate in ways that uplift others. As you blaze new trails, lean on the Vandal Network to help you chart your path. You may face setbacks, but the grit and determination that led you to this graduation stage have also prepared you for the challenges ahead. Congratulations, and go Vandals! So as I look out over all of these graduates, I know that none of you have accomplished this goal on your own. You were supported by friends and family, people you care about, and people who care deeply for you. Graduates, take a moment to stand and express your appreciation to those in the audience who supported you along this journey. I love that. You may be seated. It's a privilege to have one of our University of Idaho regents here today to help us celebrate our graduates. Sean Kehoe is a member of the State Board of Education and a University of Idaho regent. She's the former executive director of the Associated Logging Contractors, an organization of Idaho-based independent logging and wood hauling contractors. She served as an Idaho State Senator for 22 years before retiring in 2018. Regent Kehoe, will you please bring greetings to our graduates?
Greetings, graduates and friends and family. Idaho State Board of Education is the governing body for all public K-12 and higher ed institutions in the state of Idaho. On behalf of the members of the Idaho State Board of Education, I bring greetings to graduates, your families, and your friends. We are proud of your achievements. You have worked hard, and today you graduate from Idaho's land-grant institution. As our country celebrates the 250th anniversary of our founding, and as you take the next steps along your path, please help to move our country forward into the next chapter of our history. Please be involved in your community and in your state, local, and national governments. And keep our republic strong by your involvement and by exercising your right to vote in our elections. I and my fellow state board members wish you the very best for your future. Congratulations, and go Vandals.
Thank you, Regent Kehoe, for being with us today and for your service to our university. It's an honor to introduce today's commencement speaker, Lisa Grow. As I said earlier, Lisa serves as president and CEO of IDACorp and Idaho Power, a role she has held since 2020. Her 38-year career with Idaho Power began in 1987, shortly after she graduated from the University of Idaho with a Bachelor of Science degree in electrical engineering. Throughout her career, Lisa has taken on diverse and challenging roles that increased her knowledge and expertise in the utility industry. She received a Master's of Business Administration degree from Boise State University in 2008, and Lisa serves as chair of the St. Luke's Health System Board of Directors. She was recently appointed to the Board of Directors for the American Water Works Company. She is a member of the International Women's Forum and an honorary commander for the Idaho Air National Guard's 124th Fighter Wing. Lisa is a strong advocate for STEM education and building Idaho Power's future workforce, and we're grateful to have her with us here today. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to our 2026 commencement speaker, Lisa Grow.
Good morning. President Green, distinguished faculty, proud families, friends, and most importantly, class of 2026, congratulations. It is such an honor to be back here on this campus, in this place that shaped me in ways I understood only years later. I've returned to campus over the years, but standing here today feels different. Because suddenly I'm remembering what it was like to sit where you are now. I remember the anticipation, I remember the pride, and I remember wondering quietly, okay, what comes next? Spoiler alert, nobody ever really knows. But that's where the magic is. Now, after today, you may not remember who spoke at your graduation, but I hope you remember what I share with you. I've been thinking a lot about what the younger me needed to hear at this moment. And of course, I must admit, I was incredibly hungover, and for those of you that are struggling, please drink a lot of water and try to stay with me. For those of you that are closer to my age, who have the lived experience to understand what I'm about to share, for those of you just starting out, consider this a postcard from the future, and know that this will matter to you someday. Now, when I arrived at the University of Idaho, I was motivated, optimistic, and like many of you, a little unsure of exactly what path I'd take. I didn't walk onto this campus thinking someday I'm going to lead a major utility in the state of Idaho. In fact, if anyone had said that to me, I would have probably said, absolutely not. What I did know was that I loved problem solving. I cared about my community, and I believed deeply in people, in showing up for each other and making a difference. The University of Idaho gave me the space and the push to figure out what all that meant. In my time here, I learned that the university doesn't just teach knowledge. It teaches resilience, curiosity, and a kind of grounded confidence that I've carried throughout my life. My journey as a college student was a complicated but formative one. You see, I was in a bad car wreck between my junior and sophomore year. I spent over 3 weeks in the hospital, and I came back about a month after that, and I was still very much healing from some pretty serious injuries. But I didn't want to stall my life and take time off from my studies, so I came back. And in retrospect, that probably wasn't the greatest idea because I had double E310 waiting for me that semester. And I had never flunked even a test, but I flunked that entire class. And I really had to dig deep to figure out what I wanted. And I decided I was going to go ahead and get my electrical engineering degree, but at that point, I didn't actually care if I ever worked as an engineer. I just wanted to finish what I started and prove to myself that I could. So I retook that course in summer school. I still have transistor theory nightmares, and I got ready for my senior year. And as fate would have it, Idaho Power came to the campus and brought a senior design project. And I signed up. And I signed up because it was a team-based project. It was a real-world problem to be solved. And I just thought that sounded so much better than another semester in a lab by myself. So our team was charged with designing and building a flow monitoring system for one of Idaho Power's fish hatcheries. And then after I graduated, they invited me to be an intern and help oversee its installation. Now, I never intended to work for Idaho Power at all, let alone for my entire career, because my grandfather was a lineman at Idaho Power for almost 40 years, and he died when I was in the second grade. So it didn't really seem like a place for me. In fact, I once said I would never work there because it was nothing but old men and dusty equipment. And it was true when I was 7. I was not a power engineer. In fact, I studied small signal engineering. By graduation, it was the late 80s, and I thought I would go to Silicon Valley, where really exciting things were happening. But I accepted that Idaho Power internship because once again, I wanted to finish what I started. And I really didn't have a plan for how or when I was going to get to California. And as the universe tends to do, when you say, I will never, I was quickly proven wrong. I started working at Idaho Power, and I fell in love with the mission, the people, the amazing things we get to work on, and the communities where we serve. Then after my internship, there was a job that opened up in communication engineering. I applied and I was offered the job, in spite of my less than stellar GPA. It was one of the best decisions I have ever made, and it never would have happened were it not for the University of Idaho. So that was my professional origin story. And with nearly 40 years between then and now, you might think that I stepped into the CEO role with perfect clarity, that I came prepared with certainty and confidence and answers. Well, I didn't. Because no one really teaches you what the job description of a CEO is. I think you're expected to know everything, be responsible for everything, and somehow make it all look effortless. I think you're also supposed to be a good golfer, which I am certainly not. I became CEO in June of 2020. As you likely remember, was the start of the pandemic. There may never have been a stranger time to take the helm. I had no frame of reference, and neither did anyone else. We had to move incredibly fast to keep our people safe and the lights on because people's lives truly depended on it. I still remember early calls with utility CEOs across the country, hearing reports of their employee deaths, and wondering how will we protect our people and still do the work. Opinions were divided, guidance was unclear, and internally my team was looking to me for answers that I didn't have yet. Any playbook I thought I'd learned from just didn't apply. So I took a deep breath, I leaned hard on an incredibly smart team, and we got to work. We moved fast, we tried things, we failed, we adjusted, and we won again. It was messy and scary, and I probably made everybody mad at one point. But we succeeded in keeping people safe and the lights on. It was one hell of an onboarding. I aged in dog years, but I also earned a PhD-level education in resilience and courage. Now, I don't take credit for how we navigated it, but if being a CEO is about helping people be their best in impossible circumstances, well, that's when I finally understood this job. Which is a long way of saying, your future will not wait until you feel ready. Step into it anyway. The next chapter of your life will include uncertainty, failure, and moments when the path feels completely unclear. I was reminded of this recently on a ski trip. I was looking down from the top of a run, and all I could see were trees, just packed together so tightly that there was no clear path down, no identifiable way. And I froze. I wasn't sure how to start. And then one of our guides said, "Lisa, ski to the white, and you'll find your line." So I started moving, just aiming for that next patch of snow, then again and again. Before I knew it, I was at the bottom of what turned out to be one of my best runs of my life. And I realized I didn't see a single tree on the way down, just my path revealing itself, one turn at a time. You won't always see the full picture before you start. What matters is taking the next step, adjusting as you go, and trusting that clarity comes through motion. It's not a sign that something's gone wrong. It's a sign you're doing it right. The job you think you want today may not be the job you want in 5 years. The plan you created might unravel in the best possible way. You may discover passions, strengths, callings that you just can't yet imagine. Uncertainty is not the enemy. It is the raw material of possibility. Lean into it, learn from it, Let it shape who you become. Now, based on what I learned as a student at the U of I, and along my journey as CEO, I'd like to invite each of you to consider 3 things for your life ahead. Invitation 1, be courageous enough to be curious. You are entering a world that is changing fast, sometimes faster than any of us can predict. Curiosity is not a luxury. It is your competitive advantage. Ask questions, even the obvious ones, especially the obvious ones. Curiosity is how we innovate. It's how we test assumptions and uncover exciting possibilities. Be willing to be wrong, and please be willing to change your mind. Needing to be right is often the single biggest obstacle to new discoveries. The best decisions are made by people who are courageous enough to be curious, and it's how we build solutions that last. Invitation 2, use your talent in service of something bigger. Whatever field you're entering, engineering, ag, business, health, education, art, ask yourself, what can I contribute that makes life better for someone else? Be intentional about how you share your talents with the world. At Idaho Power, I've seen firsthand what it means to serve communities, to keep the lights on during storms, to plan for our energy future, and to take care of the place we call home. You will find your own version of service, and when you do, follow it. It will give your work the meaning that no resume ever could. Invitation 3, build your life around people, not achievements. Titles come and go, promotions come and go, careers evolve in ways that will surprise you. But people, the right people, will shape your life. Find mentors that tell you the truth. Find colleagues who challenge you respectfully. Find friends who will make you laugh when you need it most. Sometimes, if you're as lucky as me, the people you work with may be all 3. When you find those people, invest in them. And of course, along the way, I hope you will find a partner who will grow with you. Make a few new humans if you choose to. They will keep you humble. Achievement is satisfying. Community is sustaining. But as we know, love conquers all. As a class, you are graduating into a world facing big questions and big opportunities. AI, technology, global connection, community resilience, innovation, it's all moving, shifting, expanding. You are the ones that are going to solve the problems we haven't figured out yet. You are going to redefine what leadership looks like. And you are going to influence your companies, your communities, and your state in ways that matter. And yes, you will fail along the way. But I hope you fail boldly, because bold failure means bold attempts. And you, my dear Vandals, are brave and bold. Before I close, there's one more truth I learned, and I learned it later than I wish I had. Don't postpone joy. I don't have to tell you that the world can feel chaotic. We're living through hard things. Global uncertainty, conflicts we watch in real time, communities facing disasters, families carrying quiet burdens. It's a lot. And it can make joy feel like it's something we should postpone until things calm down. But joy isn't something you wait for. It's something you choose, especially when life is complicated. Choosing joy does not ignore the hard things. It sustains you through them. So celebrate the small wins as much as you do the big ones. Enjoy the people around you. Take the vacation, laugh loudly, eat the dessert. Joy keeps you grounded. Joy keeps you human. And joy will carry you through the challenges far better than the pursuit of perfection ever could. My final wish for you, class of 2026, may you be brave in the face of uncertainty. May you choose curiosity over comfort. May you build lives rich with connection. May you remember always to never postpone joy, especially when the world feels heavy. And may you step into your future with the confidence that you are ready, even on the days that you don't feel like it. Because I promise you this, you are more capable than you think, you are more prepared than you realize, and the world needs exactly what you have to offer. Congratulations, class of 2026. I cannot wait to see what you build, and I am cheering for you, and go Vandals. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. We appreciate your inspiring words and valuable wisdom. I could have used that about 25, 30 years ago. I'd like now to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Jason Ackerman, Professor of Military Science, to recognize our graduates who've been commissioned in the United States Armed Forces.
The University of Idaho has a long history of developing future officer leadership of the United States Armed Forces, the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, and Space Force. This graduating class is no exception. I am Lieutenant Colonel Jason Ackerman, and I am honored to speak with you today. Please direct your attention to the uniformed graduates standing before us. Later in today's ceremony, each of these graduates will walk with their respective colleges to receive their diplomas. However, prior to that, we would like to recognize them for having completed rigorous leadership development programs in conjunction with their pursuit of a degree. Each of the students were commissioned as officers yesterday and swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, to bear true faith and allegiance to the same, to take the obligation freely without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion, and to well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which they entered. Please join me in recognizing these great Americans for their accomplishments and their sworn commitment to lead and serve our soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and guardians.
Thank you for your service to our country. We are grateful for our ROTC and the amazing work of our students in those programs. And it's a privilege and a joy to work with all of our student leaders. They are committed to our community and make a difference on our campus. So I would like to invite Shea Arogandade, our outgoing ASUY president, to address our graduating students. Shea?
Good morning, families, faculty, friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2026. My name is Shea Arogandade, the outgoing president of ASUY, and I am deeply honored to stand before you today. About 20 years ago, my dad began a journey that would change our family's life forever. He left his home behind in Nigeria, the people and community he had always known, a stable career in finance and banking, and the new family he had just begun, all to come here, to the University of Idaho, in a town he had never heard of, to pursue a master's degree in agricultural engineering. Not long after, my mom followed him here with me in tow. She too had a background in finance and banking, but she was preparing an entirely new path in nursing. And standing here today, I can say with complete certainty that this university changed the trajectory of my family's life forever. This university gave us roots. It gave me memories, mentors and friendships and opportunities I could have never imagined. It gave me the space to discover who I was and who I wanted to become. It gave me the opportunity to leave a mark, to take a chance on myself, to have the audacity to believe that I could be one of the first. And I know I'm not alone in that feeling, because every graduate sitting here today has their own version of that story. Some of us are first-generation college students. Some of us worked 2 jobs while trying to survive organic chemistry. Some of us changed our major 3 times before figuring out what we wanted to do. Some of us came from towns even smaller than this one, while others came from thousands of miles away. Some of us arrived confident, others arrived terrified, but regardless of how we got here, we all share one thing in common. We made it, and that's what matters, especially because it wasn't easy. We are graduating into a world that can feel uncertain, divided, and overwhelming. It's not lost on me that we're stepping into a moment where our education might be questioned, where empathy can feel increasingly rare, and where people our age are often told more about what we lack than what we contribute. But I hope we remember this. The same university that gave us the audacity to believe in ourselves also gave us the responsibility to believe in something bigger than ourselves, to be bold enough to lead where leadership is difficult, to care deeply in a world that rewards indifference, to choose hope and compassion where cynicism feels easier, and to continue taking chances on ourselves even when the world tells us not to. Because audacity is powerful. It is audacious to believe that you deserve a seat at a table when nobody there looks like you. It is audacious to apply for the opportunities you're not sure you're qualified for. It is audacious to create, to lead, to speak up, to fail publicly, and to try again anyway. And yes, it's audacious to believe that a group of graduates from a small town in Idaho can go out and change the world for the better. But I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe the future is shaped by people willing enough to build something better. And if there's one thing the class of 2026 has proven, is that we know how to build. We've built friendships that became family, communities across differences, lives for ourselves here, and now wherever life takes us next, whether that's graduate school, careers, or just simply taking a moment to breathe. We carry this place with us. The University of Idaho will always be a part of our story. Years from now, we may forget the exact grades we earned on an assignment or the things that kept us awake at 2 a.m., but we'll always remember the feeling of this moment. We will remember the people beside us, the late nights and early moments, the moments we doubted ourselves, and the moments we surprised ourselves all the same. We will remember becoming who we are. So today, celebrate loudly. Celebrate the family members who sacrificed for you, the professors and mentors who believed in you. Celebrate the friends who carried you through. And most importantly, celebrate yourselves, because it took courage today to get here today. And I cannot wait to see what happens when we leave this university with the same audacity that brought us here in the first place. Congratulations, class of 2026, and as always, go Vandals.
Thank you, Shay. We appreciate your excellent leadership of the ASUI. We now have the honor of recognizing a member of our Vandal family with the President's Medallion. This award is presented to an individual who has made significant contributions to the cultural, economic, scientific, or social advancement of Idaho and its people, as well as provided exceptional service to the state or nation that has influenced the well-being of humankind. I now invite Jilisa Kenyon, Chair of our Commencement Committee, to introduce our President's Medallion recipient, General Eric Peterson.
Eric Peterson retired from the U.S. Army in 2024 as a lieutenant general after 38 years of leading complex organizations and elite military formations in demanding operations and missions. His final assignment was as the Army Deputy Chief of Staff for Plans and Programs, G8, responsible for the Army's $900+ billion five-year resourcing strategy, material modernization, material requirements process, and campaign analysis. He has been inducted into the University of Idaho Alumni Hall of Fame and the Army ROTC Hall of Fame. He was also awarded an honorary PhD from the University of Idaho, an honorary master's degree from the Army War College, and was the U.S. Committee of the Blue Shield's first recipient of the Award for Meritorious Military Service and Protection of Cultural Property. Eric earned bachelor's degrees in geography and cartography from the University of Idaho's College of Mines and Earth Resources. He went on to earn master's degrees in business administration and national security strategy. He also earned executive leadership certificates in mastering negotiation from Harvard's Kennedy School of Government and strategic leadership from the University of North Carolina's Keenan Flagler Business School. Eric currently leads Beehive Partners, LLC, providing strategic leadership and consulting services, and serves as corporate board director and chair. He also serves on the University of Idaho's Board for Military and Veterans Affairs. His wife, Jen Santos, is Boeing Phantom Works Vice President for Technology Base. Together, they have 4 thriving adult children. The University of Idaho is proud to award the President's Medallion to General Eric Peterson. Our second President's Medallion recipient is Dr. Edmund O. Schweitzer III. Although Dr. Schweitzer was unable to be with us today, we look forward to honoring him in a future ceremony. I now have the privilege of introducing our honorary degree recipient. The University of Idaho awards honorary degrees to individuals deserving of honor by virtue of scholarly distinction, noteworthy public service, or significant contributions to the state of Idaho, the nation, and the world. May I present Warren Bakes for the degree Honorary Doctor of Education. Warren Bakes was born into a Navy family, attending 16 schools before barely graduating high school with a 1.54 GPA. Frequently overlooked by teachers who knew military kids moved often, Warren fell behind academically, a hardship that set him on an unlikely path of service to education. Warren enrolled at the University of Idaho, a campus he'd explored as a child during a family stint in Moscow. There, a trusted academic advisor guided him toward physical education, helping him through the challenges of his undergraduate years and setting the course for a remarkable career. He earned his degree in 1963. Over the next 3 decades, Warren built an extraordinary record in Idaho education, teaching, serving as a principal in the Coeur d'Alene School District, and eventually rising to superintendent in 1983. Colleagues remembered him as a rock in the storm, a fair and steady leader who genuinely cared about students, staff, and community alike. In 1995, Warren returned to the University of Idaho, this time as an employee. For 28 years, he coordinated teacher candidate placements in the College of Education, connecting hundreds of prospective educators with mentor teachers and navigating complex challenges with skill and dedication. Colleagues credit him with profoundly shaping the, quote, climate, attitude, and reputation of the College of Education, end quote. His legacy at the university is further cemented by a scholarship he established to support future teachers, ensuring his belief in the transformative power of education lives on for generations to come. The University of Idaho is grateful for Warren's professional contributions, along with his advocacy and volunteer efforts in our community.
Warren Bakes, upon the recommendation of the faculty and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents and the University of Idaho, I confer upon you the degree Honorary Doctor of Education, together with all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. You can read more about our distinguished honorees in your commencement program. Provost and Executive Vice President Tori Lawrence will now recognize our graduates who've earned honor cords.
Thank you, President Green. The University of Idaho is committed to the pursuit of excellence. Today, we recognize the students who are graduating with special honors. Will the students please stand as I call your honor designation and remain standing? Audience, please hold your applause until all honorees are standing. Cum laude, with distinction. Signified by a bronze honor cord, these students are the top 10% of their college class. Will you please stand? Magna cum laude, with great distinction. Signified by a silver honor cord, they are the top 6% of their college class. Would you please stand? Summa cum laude, with highest distinction. They are wearing a gold honor cord, and they are the top 3% of their college class. Would you please stand? Next, we invite members of our honors program to stand and be recognized. And finally, we also honor those from professional honor societies, professional organizations, our officer education program candidates, and all others with honor cords. Will you please stand? You have brought distinction to yourselves and to our university through your high achievements as students and as scholars. We honor your hard work and commitment to learning, and we look to you for leadership in upholding high standards for yourselves and for your peers. Congratulations. You may be seated. And finally, the moment that brings us all here today, we will now begin the granting of degrees to all candidates who have met the requirements for the associate, baccalaureate, master's, specialist, and doctoral degrees. The requirements are set forth by the faculty at the University of Idaho and have been completed through formal study. Degrees will be conferred on all of our candidates present today, as well as upon those who have been duly excused. Will the candidates for the associate and baccalaureate degrees please stand? Also known as bachelor's degrees. Excellent. President Green, these candidates are recommended by their respective faculty to be awarded the undergraduate degree so earned.
So by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho, I hereby confer upon each of you the undergraduate degree so earned with all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. In testimony whereof, you'll receive the diploma of the University of Idaho. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for master's and specialist degrees please stand? Each of you has completed rigorous advanced studies in academic disciplines. President Green, These candidates are recommended by their respective faculty to receive a master's or specialist degree.
By the authority of the, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho, I hereby confer upon each of you the master's or specialist degree so earned, with all its rights, honors, and privileges and responsibilities. In testimony whereof, you'll receive the diploma of the University of Idaho. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for doctoral degrees please stand? Each of you has completed rigorous advanced studies in academic disciplines. President Green, these candidates are recommended by their respective faculty to receive a doctoral degree.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho, I hereby confer upon each of you the doctoral degree so earned, with all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. In testimony whereof, you'll receive the diploma of the University of Idaho. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Please be seated. The University of Idaho awards posthumous degrees to students who completed significant coursework prior to their untimely death. This is a moment for us to acknowledge the contributions of each student and celebrate their academic accomplishment with their families. This morning, we will award 2 posthumous degrees. President Green, Tyson David Randall, and Tristan Zachary Woodside have been recommended by the faculty of the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences to receive posthumous bachelor's degrees.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho, I hereby confer upon Tyson David Randall and Tristan Zachary Woodside the posthumous bachelor's degree earned, in testimony whereof their families will receive the diploma of the University of Idaho.
We will now begin the awarding of doctoral degrees. They will be followed by the master's, specialist, and undergraduate degrees. Students receiving a doctorate are given a doctoral hood and will be hooded by their major professor. After receiving your degree, we ask that all candidates please stay for the remainder of the ceremony out of respect for your other graduates and their families. Marshals, will you please escort the candidates to the stage?
Gloria Natividad de Conley, Education, is being hooded by the Major Professor Taylor Chase Rainey. The dissertation title is Raising ESL Teachers' Voices, Pre-Service, Novice, and Experienced ESL Teachers' Perceptions on the Acceptance of Technology Use Towards Online Instruction. Ariel Aguiar Bonfim Cruz, Kinesiology, is being hooded by the Major Professor Chantal A. Valla. The dissertation title is Low Energy Availability and Menstrual Cycle Characteristics Among Female Triathletes. Elva Allen, Education, is being hooded by the Major Professor Vanessa Anthony Stevens. The dissertation title is Tribal Cross-Sector Collaboration, Centering Indigenous Knowledges and Sovereignty to Transform a Community. Ragad Faisal Al-Saka, Education, is being hooded by the Major Professor Janine Juliana Dara. The dissertation title is Generative AI in Graduate Education, Master's and Doctoral Students' Experiences and Academic Practices. Carrie Feely, Education. Major Professor Laura Holyoke is being hooded by Maya Groza. The dissertation title is Stories of Challenge and Growth, a narrative inquiry into making sense of first-year academic setbacks in college. Olubenga Gideon, Experimental Psychology, is being hooded by the Major Professor Benjamin Keith Barton. The dissertation title is A Shortcut to Safety, Judging Unintentional Injury Likelihood and Behavior Using Availability Heuristics. Cassandra Alexis Heath, Education. Major Professor is Laura Holyoke, is being hooded by Blaine Eccles. The dissertation title is Leadership at the Edge, a narrative study of admission leaders' emotional labor amid the demographic cliff. Tony Sabala, Education. Major Professor Dr. Andrew Sheaf. The dissertation title is Equity in Practice, the Role and Evaluation of Classroom Accommodations in Inclusive Education. Seth Opong, Education, is being hooded by the Major Professor Raymond Anthony Dixon. The dissertation title is Analyzing Differences in Math Teachers' Teaching Efficacy and Instructional Practice Patterns after Participation in Project Calm Professional Development. Angelica De Vincenzis, Doctor of Athletic Training, is being hooded by the Major Professor Alan Mark Nasipany. Rebecca Faith McCullough, Doctor of Athletic Training, is being hooded by the Major Professor Alan Mark Nasipany. Students graduating in the College of Law are greeted by Interim Dean Eliza Cover and hooded by Professor of Law David Pimentel or Ryan Lincoln. Kristen Nicole Million. Brittany Rose McNeff. Samantha Elizabeth Bell. Wiley Benson J. Abigail Marie Berger. Savannah Boyle. Eric Frederick Brackebush. Selena Leanne Chandler. Nellie Rose Christensen, summa cum laude. Willow Avery Cogan. Tyler Michael Coleman. Jake Abraham Davis. Brandon Michael Dorigati. Rachel Edmondson. Avery Joseph Embry. Elia Lorray Enriquez. Asan Entazar. Ross Jesse Fabas, summa cum laude. Christian Face. Adrian Funston. Hillary Raquel Graham. Nicholas James Griffin. Jerem Samuel Hall. Hannah R. Harrington. Rainice Nora Ann Hebert. Kristen Henrik, cum laude. Juliet Penelope Hernandez. Jacob Michael Hirsch. Nicole L. Larson. Jonathan James Layton. Christian Lovan. Samantha Faye McKeon. Ryan James Prespent. Faith Elizabeth Quigley, summa cum laude. Samuel Wesley Ray. Nawal Shago. Isabella Claire Sindelar. Leslie Alexandra Sixtos Cruz. Michael Andrew Spruns. Melissa Swansera. Eliana Marie Walsh. Ruby Kate Warren. Robert Omura Lang. Students graduating with a master's degree in the College of Graduate Studies will be greeted by Jean Derry McMurtry and Provost Tori Lawrence. Emanuela Lolonio Afolabi.
Giselle Karin Kaufman.
Taylor Jade Aguilar.
Cole Tyler Kelsey.
Jakob Wilhelm Alt.
Jeremy Lynn Kestel.
Bruce F. Twitchell.
Mackenzie Faye Kowalczyk.
Alexandria B. Alvarez.
Alyssa Levia.
Quinn Michael Anderson.
Jordan C. Kopshow.
Alexandria Arrett.
Mauricio Andres Lagunas.
Mary Elizabeth Asti.
Ashlyn Marie Lambert.
Alyssa K. Avery.
Jason Liedl.
Brett Kennedy Bacon.
Ryan Keith Lawrenson.
Cameron Jonathan Ball.
Morgan Veronica Itoy Loy.
Amba Francis Barnes.
Firas Maya.
Marissa Marie Batchelor.
Natalia Mays.
Ainsley Louise Bauer.
Scott Carol Milner.
Bernardo Bautista.
Nathan J. Moody.
Jacob Billington.
Kayla Suzanne Nija.
Emma Elise Binsfield.
Ya Nam.
Madison Nicole Biddle.
Cameron Ann Nielsen.
Benjamin Bryce Brolier Borkowski.
Jacob Wynn.
Madeline Haley Butler.
Lydia Pagel.
Nicholas Ryan Butler.
Tamaya Cody Pacotis.
McKenna Bertram.
Emily Noons.
Linda A. Commodore.
Jade Payne.
Walker Camp.
Patricia E. Perry.
Iris Chimboras.
Connor Patrick Picolas.
Wendy Elizabeth Schote.
Michael Robert Patayak.
Jada Croft.
Alyssa Elaine Pittner.
Carolyn Ann Clifford.
Taylor Nicholas Potter.
Alex Crisp.
Sophia Rabe.
Shauna Estrell Cousins.
Shantae Denise Randall Guy.
Kira Noel Craig.
Kirk Michael Rayner.
Katie Lynn Cranshaw.
Connor Timothy Reeks.
David Coy Chipkowski.
Deborah Rias dos Santos.
Taya DeCrife.
Hannah Elizabeth Roberts.
Sydney Marie de los Santos.
Alvaro Alonso Robles.
Claire Ann Dimes.
Riley Schutler.
Jose Eduardo Duran.
Isaac Bishop Sanchez.
Jade Marie Fredericks.
Simon Scott.
Mackenzie Ann Fluda.
Andrew Christopher Sherman.
Emma Jean Cressy.
Opath Sela Path.
Alexander C. Elliott.
Eric Skiving.
Austin Richard Eldridge.
Georgia M. Sabata.
Jesse Waylon Fay.
Jacob Spickelmeyer.
Jordan Ray Frederickson.
Heather Lynn Squitieri.
Bailey Lake Flynn.
Abigail Jewel Stuckey.
Ethan Fresius.
Cooper Robert Stevens.
Will Russell Grant.
Jordan Sangino.
John Richard Jividen.
Taylor Victoria Swartz.
Alexandra Gomez.
Victoria Ukia.
Orlando Gonzalez Gomar.
Jonas James Wenzel.
Raquel Gordon.
Kurt David Wester.
Alexander Gray.
Todd Kenneth Walsh.
Michael Amwajan.
Mary Kay Wanachek.
Jack Hatton.
Tia Lane Ware.
Richard Derek Harmon.
Blake Daniel Watson.
Morgan Elise Hedich.
Madison Marie Wolf.
Anisha Mike Michelle Hill.
Jesse Winchester.
Tyler Carson Holtgren.
Brittany Janelle Young.
Tamara Hurst.
Students graduating with an undergraduate degree in the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences will be greeted by Dean Sean Quinlan. Alexa Damara Benitez, summa cum laude.
Sam Hunsam Huang.
Kimberly Betsabe Aguilar.
Ashley Eisenberger.
Nelson J. Abel.
Jenna Michael Jansen.
Jack Adams.
Darylyn D. Left Hand.
Lanyata Alexander Jr.
Emily Page Jardine.
McKenna Aldinger. Justin Alder.
Jacob Thomas Johnson.
Erika Guadalupe Amaral Delayo.
Braden Montgomery Jones.
Gunnar Anderberg.
Warrior Noyle.
Aurora Anderson.
Urusha Shrestha.
Kaylee Elizabeth Anderson, summa cum laude. Rami Anderson. Julianne Jennifer Andrews.
Graduates in the College of Art and Architecture will be greeted by Dean Shauna Corey.
Naomi Amico Alvarez. Janet Julia Gwynn Anderson.
Emily Catherine Stewart.
Lindsay Taylor Angelo.
Davis Charles Aiken.
Kaloa Rain Hoagland.
Kara Addington.
Alexandra Christine Doyle.
Elizabeth Albor.
Reese Alfaro.
Arsha Alizada Mogadam.
Atsiri Arias.
Devin Michael Allen.
Jacob Thomas Bacon.
Dalton S. Altimus.
Emily Ann Beth Walter.
Emma Leanne Alford.
Kamari Baker.
Maya Patricia Anderson.
Jaden Barfus.
Leah Arison.
Alora Rose Barlow.
Jeffrey R. Arnson, cum laude.
Annie Rebecca Barnes.
Julissa Ayala Estrado.
Kaya Jordan Barnes.
Cole Brennan Barrett.
Marissa Margaret Berry.
Aiden Nina Basto.
Braden Page Anglin.
Everett H. Beck.
Skylar James Barzy, summa cum laude.
James Broadnax.
Isabella Lynn Blackstone, cum laude.
Rebecca Jean Brown.
Alexander Bloom, cum laude.
Autumn Jade Bunch.
Chance Elijah Bogan.
Bentley Burns.
Marina Dawn Bolin.
Callista Jean Cushman Pope.
Caleb Alexander Bradford.
Antonicia Sherry Rosario Cardenas Ritzert.
Oluwansheyi Uroguidalde.
Brooke Sindejas.
Delaney Beth Jepson.
Kaylin Britt Collingwood, magna cum laude.
Madeline Duplessis, summa cum laude.
Jake Allen Duckwall.
Ava McNeil Bremanis, cum laude.
Tyler William DeBlau.
Glenn Kai Burris.
Rachel Pearl Drexler.
Addison Jane Brecky.
Cheyenne N. Duncan.
Gabriella Amelia Clapp.
Tyler William Davis.
Aurelio Paulo Briones.
Madison Durant, magna cum laude.
Camilyn Brockman.
Madeline Sophia Eaton, summa cum laude.
Krista Scott Campbell.
Rachel Renee Edmonds.
Eva Rose Cannon.
Cash Ronald Farnworth.
Sarah Marie Casey.
Olivia Fish, summa cum laude.
Brian Cervantes.
Brigham Casey Fowler.
Beatrice Emma Cheevers.
Jack Franco.
Jeffrey Michael Shanowski.
Ava S. Forsyth.
Sonny Jonathan Kobana.
Emma Freitas.
Nicholas Clancy Connor.
Cadence Irene Gable.
Jessica Contreras.
Maria Louise Gamboa.
Rachel Faith Croter, cum laude.
Pablo W. Garcia.
Elena Faith Crest.
Beatrix Tig Gillies.
Calvin Ferguson Dater.
Travis Malachi Gray.
Marky Nicole Davis.
Sophia N. Granger.
Kaylee Alex DeGraw.
Geraldine Adriana Gutierrez.
Chalice McKinley Delbo.
Dylan Doak Henderson.
Matthew Dolan.
Porter James Howard.
Brendan John Doshi.
Brody Robert Hanneranag.
Abigail Drawn.
Taylor E. Harris.
Avery Dykema.
Camille Heath.
Keenan Ezekiel Abel Edwards. Madeline Noel Eidson.
Jose Hernandez.
Colton Vernon Elison.
Lydia Foss Herman.
Alex Nick Inatke.
Alexis O. Howard.
Isaac Esparza.
Chloe Joy Hardman, summa cum laude.
Eloa Evangelista.
Molly Rowan Klingler.
Katya Noelani England.
Andrew S. Kurtz.
Avery Reese Kanoan.
Mark Andrew Moreno.
Ashley Murillo.
Elise Christine Lesniak.
Anaí Aguilera Gonzalez.
Samantha Grace Larson.
Michelle Mendoza Ibarra.
Quinn Richard Larson.
Bryn Calderon.
Jesse D. Lemon.
Vincent Michael Giordano.
Davis Lannon McDonald.
Krista Bledsoe.
Taylor M. Macias.
Ella Riley Rogers.
Brenna Magnuson.
Kaylee Ann King.
Elizabeth May Montague.
Maddie Paini.
Peyton Bama.
Bailey Joan Reynolds.
Abby Danae Clark.
Alexis Bennett.
Emily Alice Fisher. Jack
Lenara
Emmett Wilkins.
Lenara Jane Bennett, summa cum laude.
Cole Arthur McDonald.
Willow Cohen Oswald, cum laude.
Owen William Crowley.
Chiara Gennari.
Nathan L. Kindle.
Christopher Squires.
Lauren Ellen Quinn.
Brighton Spencer.
Aisha Aaron Cummings.
Elisa Brenton, cum laude.
Isabella Hope Jackson.
Jamie Dugal, summa cum laude.
McKinley Rain Furrer.
Tanner James Allen.
Jonathan Torres.
Eric Platonov Alcazaba.
Krista Lynn Hagan.
Noah Jameson Lindsley.
Annalise May Narum.
Kyra Elizabeth Gardner.
Brooklyn Faye Douglas.
Ava Marie Gist.
Georgia Darlene Darrow.
Clement J. Fitzgerald.
Kavya Shri Malaneni.
Jessica Marie Fraley.
Lakshmi Prasanna Madala.
Caleb Joseph Gaichner.
Landon James Medeiros.
Andres Gomez Montalban.
Gunnar Francesco Mayo.
Brenna Lee Hawkins.
Rebecca Christine Myers, summa cum laude.
Luella Marie Smith.
Nina Mai Nguyen.
Xana Marie Miller.
Janessa Michelle Norsini, magna cum laude.
Allison Ruby Mayhew.
Nicholas Bedor Noack.
Haley Patricia Guikou.
Madison Elizabeth Pinone.
Cameron Ann Green.
Anna Eleanor Matthews.
Tiana Lynn Gregg.
Avalon N. DeWitt.
Hazel Garza.
Gianna Christine Palazzolo.
Brandon Kraling, summa cum laude.
Amelia Elise Perkins.
Joseph Gunn.
Madeline Page Stevens.
Rebecca Hale.
Avery W. Reinhardt.
Farah Isabel Hall.
Paul J. Peterson.
Louis Harm.
Abigail Elnora Peterson.
Bennett Michael Hart, summa cum laude.
Jada Olivia Pope.
Gretchen Elizabeth Hayes.
L. Rasmussen.
Delray Catherine Harris.
Jacqueline Ruvalcalba Jerez.
Caitlin Dahlberg.
Ashikor Rahman Ratul.
Ana Maria Gonzalez.
Robert Aaron Skilton.
Charlie Marie Harwood.
Katie Jean Slade.
Adriana Marie Hayes.
Ireland Spelt.
Erin M. Hester.
Daniel Robert Stevenson.
Edward Patton Heastand.
Jonathan Smith.
Ali G. Terry, cum laude.
Gavin Colin Slater.
Evelyn Storms.
Alec Michael Charvet Smith.
Colin Gregory Haliba Cooper.
Olivia Sononu Thaxton.
Jacob William Paul Holloway.
Sophia Olivia Strelitz.
Lars James Horning.
Brittany Tan.
Ella Catherine Houts. Devaney Hunter.
Andrew Stephen Thomas.
Amari Lee Caballero.
Shannon Elizabeth Thompson.
Janice Ivory Jalone.
Jemima Shanti Tootie.
Claire Rose Jackson.
Sydney Ann Vandehay.
Madeline Page Hunter.
Esmeralda Valdivia.
Ethan Alexander Clemens.
Caleb Jonathan Wagner, cum laude.
Austin Waddles.
Alana Rose Weddle.
Jonathan Owen Waddles.
Nora Grace White, magna cum laude.
Timothy Lee Jackson.
Marissa Faith Ward.
Cameron Vesoso.
Harley Kyoko Yoshida Williams.
Haley Kathleen Laughlin.
Emma Elizabeth Yakumchuk.
Corinda Michelle Lester.
Cassidy Lorraine Zimmerman, cum laude.
Milo Anthony Lindemood. Dana and Lucy.
Students graduating from the ROTC program will be greeted by our provost. Our first student is Sophia Elizabeth Fisher.
Leslie Macias.
Max J. Bearden.
Zoha Akil.
Travis Wayne Schreiner.
Gabriel Michael Marchando.
Matthew McGill.
Taylor Camille Martel.
Gabriel Weeks.
Presley J. McFadden.
William Winterbottom Lee.
Ashley Rain McLaughlin.
Ezekiel Carey.
Savannah Lorraine Medjo.
Caleb Jacob Brooks.
Luke Benjamin Messerly. Olivia Elizabeth Mickelson.
Lacey Lynn Germanson.
Caitlin Shea Miller.
Students graduating in the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, Kaylin Ann Johnson.
Sadie Cordova.
Madeline Elizabeth Johnson.
Brielle Hall.
Casey C. K.
Olivia McKenna Wyatt.
Kia Aiden Kearns.
Brenna Kelsey Wilson.
John Tanner Susness Keegan.
Emma Lucille Rolls.
Victoria Marie Keene. Grace Ann Kelly.
Students graduating with an undergraduate degree in the College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences will be greeted by Dean Brooke Blevins. Morgan Ariel Hill, summa cum laude.
Stephen Anthony Kerr.
Julia Suzanne Ardal.
Sarah Nicole Kindler.
Reagan Beth Abshire.
Felicia Castillo.
Nina Marie Alsuler.
Samuel Stephen Kincaid.
Kennedy Alyssa Calvin.
Amanda Nicole Kist.
Joanna K. Bennett.
Layla Knight.
Julia Louise Berman Solo.
Bergen Clute Painter.
Sophia Christina Brona.
Irene Elizabeth Koreski.
Jacob Jeffrey Bull.
Aaron Vishwanath Kumar.
Elizabeth F. Barossa.
Lydia Grace Liaza.
Kaylee Dawn Baldwin.
Nathan Charles Lanigan.
Heather Ann Brewster.
Isabella R. Larson.
Levi Daniel Collette.
Jeremiah James Larson.
Aaron Richard Harburg.
Margaret Sage Russell.
Ferris Winfield Klein.
Olivia Claire Schwartz.
Eli John Lyon.
Joshua Michael Rardin.
Jared J. Hanchy.
Jeremiah David Senstock.
Drew Elizabeth Simmons.
Madison Ann Siflo.
Cruz Barton Lewis Hepburn.
Logan Grace Sanborn.
Madison T. Fink.
Carolyn Faith Stevens.
Avery Brianne Own.
Isaiah James Burzett.
Piper Christy Wasson.
Avery Elise Smith.
Abigail K. Dopp.
Kylie Nicole Scheib.
Riley J. Brock.
Hennessy G. Skaggs.
Natalie Marianne Foster.
Carl P. Sermanis.
Erin Elizabeth Harrington.
Everett Ellis Skinner.
Sean Mitchell Dreeman.
Emily Lauren Roberts.
Jared Daniel Granger.
Madison Tesnolidek.
Sean Eugene Carper.
Macy Hope Bright.
Kyle J. Gleason, summa cum laude.
Colby Keith Renner.
Wicks Scott Woodard.
Chase William Richardson.
Sam Draper.
Michael Edward Tatro.
Kyle David Hampton.
Grace Elizabeth Tish.
Sierra Rose Harlan, cum laude. Elizabeth Marie Childers.
Savannah Melinda Thomas.
Avery Lynn Zill.
Jade Maphia Todd.
Natalie Marie Tomsick.
Emma Ann Vincent.
Tahara Jean Holcomb.
Hallie Renee Wisher.
Minyan Nabarishi Mugazi.
Robert Holden Whitney.
Sarah Brands.
Abigail Lynn Reeder.
Gracie Lynn Kennedy.
Bailey Ryan Wolf Rickstad.
Samuel George Johnson.
Leighton Charles Ritter, summa cum laude.
Iris Hicks, summa cum laude.
Valentina Raudas Carcamo.
Emily C. Knowles.
Abigail Renee Rosenthal.
Gracelyn Hope McClendon.
Mia J. Rowden.
Shelby Schmidt.
Cade R. Rowland.
Anai Duran.
Danielle Rose Rust.
Emily Grace McGee.
Catherine Michaela Saki.
Annika Capri Jewett.
Christian D. Sanchez.
Catherine Hope Greer.
Esmeralda Santana.
Randy Sue Jensen.
Emily Grace Shower.
Bethany June Johnson.
Ethan Brendan Scott.
Quentin J. Heaton.
Amelia G. Shriver.
Nicholas Sebastian Hernandez.
Diana Marie Smolko.
Jacob Jonathan Couture.
Emma Lida Solar.
Hattie Marie Dussault.
Sophia Soto Galvan.
Maya Christine Darling.
Drew Giselle Stacy.
Deegan Anthony Goodwin.
Presley Shay Steele.
Dylan G. Terry.
Phoebe Virginia Stokes.
Alexander Samuel Lee cum laude.
Allison Elizabeth Sturdivant.
Ashley Faye Mackey.
Jocelyn Olivia Sutich.
Kendra Ann Marcute.
Jack Charles Sweeney.
Cassandra Tipke McGrary.
Bryant Sitz.
Andrew Lee Martinson.
Aaliyah Grace Schmidt.
Marco Alessandro Lenhart.
Isabella May Taylor.
Andre Harrington Moore.
Sydney Tepley.
Abigail Jill Pagalaga.
Charlie Grace Tudor.
Jesse Jean Phillips.
Sophia Maximovna Vakrosheva.
Ryan Annabelle Pilcher.
Ishmael Valades.
Michaelia N. Pollinuk.
Dylan Vance.
Haley Ann Potts.
Benjamin Patrick Parker.
Grace Marie Diffin.
Sophia Pauline Van Huss.
Sheridan Colleen Pesnell.
Adriana Marie Varn.
Corey Jacqueline Dubois.
Jaden Vivian Vaughn.
Lauren Renee Potter, summa cum laude.
Brian Anthony Vega.
Emily Paige Pearson.
Theodore Charles Waddell.
Hayden Marie Mills, cum laude.
Wade Wade.
Alexander Patrick Mitchell.
Becca Jane Wagman.
Piper Christine Mix.
Ashley P. Wallace.
Ethan Moss.
Otto Dean Wallen.
Anna Kathleen Morosco.
Natalie Wargi, cum sum laude.
Evan James Mulroy.
Olivia Webster.
Bora Mutoni, summa cum laude.
Jackson M. Whaley.
Hannah E. Myers.
Kaiten White.
Ali Nadolski.
Emily Corinne Whittington, summa cum laude.
Marlene Navarro Valdez.
Hale Wilkins.
Talitha Bell Noyar. Summa cum laude.
Giacomo Matteo Lumia Wilson.
Morgan Hope Neville, cum laude.
Riley Ann Wilson.
Suzanne K. Nichols.
Jack Payne.
Vincent O'Connor.
Tyler Joseph Linhart.
Caden Owen.
Isaiah Brickner.
Jessica Dominique Parungao. Layla Reese Partridge. Anthony Apina Pellegrini. Jacob Pham, summa cum laude. Ryan Matthew Poe. Jenna Marie Price. Beatrice Ramirez. Haley Marie Ramsey. Maggie Jean Randall. Carly Ann Rankin. Jonathan William Reagan. Maximilian Winston Reed. Joshua Orion Reisenfeld.
May I have all the graduates please stand? You're now graduates, so it's time to move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations. You may be seated. I would now like to invite Vicki Sell, our Senior Director of the University of Idaho Alumni Association and Class of 1989, to address our graduates. Vicki?
Good morning, Vandals. Founded in 1898, the the University of Idaho Alumni Association is nearly as old as the institution. At this time, would all University of Idaho alumni in the audience and on the platform please stand? Yep, go on. Graduates, you are now joining an elite and loyal group of individuals now numbering almost 117,000 strong. They are living and working and making a difference in Idaho, nationally, and around the globe. And now you too are a part of the University of Idaho alumni family. You may now be seated. Graduates, congratulations, welcome, and go Vandals!
Thank you, Vicki. I think they're still getting used to being graduates on the floor here. Well done. As we near the end of our commencement ceremony, I'd like to take a few moments to show our appreciation to some of the many individuals who made today possible. Thank you to the Border Highlanders for leading our processional today. We also thank anthem singer Madison Cummings, along with the University Wind Ensemble, led by Assistant Professor and Director of Bands, Mark Thiel. We appreciate our commencement. Sure, let's give them all a round of applause. Well done. Do such an amazing job. We appreciate our commencement readers, Jamaica Richter, Leotina Hormel, Lisa Salisbury, and Sandra Kelly. Sure. The presentation of colors was made by a joint color guard comprised of cadets from the University of Idaho's ROTC units. Also, thank you to our floor and college marshals and for the leadership of Rula Awad Rafferty, lead marshal for our ceremony today. Many others worked for several months to make this event so special, and my gratitude to the committees, faculty, and staff who had a part in planning this ceremony. Let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you. Finally, I wish to acknowledge our faculty. Will our faculty please stand? Our faculty are indeed special. We appreciate your dedication to our students. Your support of our students and all you do to give them the tools they need to be successful in their chosen fields of study. Your engagement and mentorship elevate the University of Idaho experience. You're essential to our land-grant mission of teaching, discovery, and service. Thank you for all you do for our students and for the University of Idaho. Thank you. You may be seated. So graduates, after the ceremony, please join your family and friends outside for photos. Please wait until the stage party has exited the seating area before you begin to recess. And finally, please join us in a special University of Idaho tradition, the singing of our alma mater. The words are located in page 66 in your program and on the screens behind me. Please stand.
Silver and gold in the sunlight gleam. see.